Everyone always tells you to go on Canva, create a guide, and sell it for $47 3 times a day. In today's episode, we're going to be diving into the information of our most viral freebie.
Now give it to me. Oh yeah.
So we have this one freebie that people ask for all the time, and Megan has it up regularly. And if they ask for it and they don't get it in the DMs, or their emails for whatever don't work, or it goes to their spam, they are literally fighting us for it. They are sending angry messages all the time, like, where is it? Give it to me.
I need it.
And honestly, I don't blame them because it is amazing. It's the 4 products that they can use to scale and make 10K pretty easily, actually. And it works. We have done it. We use those same products, and the people who also use a freebie message us back, 6 months later and tell us that it worked for them. So we're going to talk about those today and break those down for you and what it could look like for anyone who uses it.
Yeah, people literally riot in my DMs for this freebie. My guy. It's a freebie.
Can you take a deep breath?
Yeah, if for whatever reason, sometimes emails don't go through, sometimes they end up in spam, and they're like, I didn't get the freebie. Can you send me the freebie? And
they're acting like we have their credit card information.
My guy, it's not a big deal. So we're going to talk about that freebie today, what the 4 digital products that you should be creating. I think a lot of people go into the digital space and they're like, I need to create a guide, because everybody makes that content. Open up Canva, create a guide, sell it for $27 4 times a day, and make $1 trillion a year.
The math be mathin'.
Yeah. And so
girl math.
Yeah, girl math. So they're like, I have to make a guide. That's the only type of digital product I should ever make. When in fact, a guide is the last digital product you should be making. And look, I love a guide. I love a good guide. My first digital product was a $19 guide. How to grow. It was like the guide to rapid Instagram growth. That's literally what I called it.
Aw,
and it was messy.
Cute.
I was like, how do I make this stylish? There's a bunch of zigzags in the background because I was like, I want this to be cute. And it was hard to read. I was back when my eyebrows were far apart. So the pictures are me, my eyebrows are far apart. But
clearly you've gotten better at designing things.
Actually, I've gotten way simpler. I've taken all the stylized anything out, and it's extremely, extremely simple. So what we're going to talk about are the 4 types of digital products that you should be creating when you start selling digital products online. And this has taken us, 2 years to kind of nail down. It's taken us a couple of years to figure out what are the best types of digital products to sell, why they're the best. And so let's kind of talk about what they are and how to do it.
Well, let's talk about first why we know that these are the best, because we have tried them all. We have made pretty much every type of digital product out there, within our niche.
More than once.
And we're just well, we're going to try it. We're going to test it. And we have tested a lot. And these are the 4 that consistently do well across the board. So it's not just our opinion, it's data. These always do well.
And not just for us,
for
other
all the
creators
members too.
Yeah.
For our members, for other creators. And this is coming from our own experience, and it's coming from the research that we do in the industry and what other creators are consistently selling. So the number one digital product that you can create and scale quickly and easily is a course. You're probably rolling your eyes oh my God, I knew that. But it is a course. There's a reason why you see courses online. It's the number one most scalable type of digital product you can possibly make.
But it's your own course, not somebody else's course.
Right.
That's the key there.
That's the key. Your own course. And the reason why it's so scalable is because it's a one-to-many product model, meaning you can create one product one time, this course one time, and sell it to multiple people. And so you're able to scale this extremely quickly because all you have to do is figure out how to sell more of the course. More people are buying it. And it's a really, really, really great way to start a business. But I think creating courses is kind of intimidating to people who are just starting.
That's what I was going to say. Because we've talked to a lot of our students, and they've been well, that sounds really complicated. I don't know, if I'm not a teacher, I don't know what to say, or I don't know how to film this. It sounds really complicated. I need equipment. And we're no, it's literally a free website that you can use in Google Docs, and you're good to go. So easy.
Yeah, courses are cool because you can one add on to them pretty easily. You can sell it as one lump sum. People are hungry for information. So if you want to make just one giant course, you can. If you want to sell it in individual pieces, you can do that. But it's really simple. You can go on Canva. The Canva has like a record now, which you can make courses, which is really cool of them.
Mhm.
If you wanna be a little bit fancier, we use a, program called Loom. You can do it on Loom, and that will, like, break down the transcript for you. If you wanna be even fancier, there's a program we use called Descript, but I think the easiest thing to do is to do it on Canva because you can then make all your slides and make that cute, and Canva has templates for you, so pretty darn easy.
My eye just twitched so hard, I thought I was gonna pass out. I was like, "Oh god," I lost my train of thought. It's been doing that for weeks. So what you said is like really important too. You can create one big course, you can create lots of little courses. On
Mhm.
this note, this is like a piece of information that I wish somebody had told me. I don't know, a year ago. Instead of making one giant course that solves every conceivable problem for your audience in your niche, create multiple little courses that are lower ticket that solve one individual problem within a larger goal. When you do this, you're able to make repeat customers. People who come in and buy one course are likely going to buy another course, especially when they experience the value that you provide in your products, and you're able to do more for your audience. Where what we have found is that when people see that you have one big course for us, for a higher price tag, they're a little intimidated by it. And they're like, well, I don't know that I want to invest this much. I
Mhm.
don't know that I want all of these problems solved. I'm really just looking to solve this one problem right now. And instead of investing, they decide to hold off because they're like, well, let me think about it. Where if you're selling multiple smaller courses, what we have found is that people are much more quick, people will much more likely to add that course to cart. And then they're going to keep adding courses to cart. And they end up spending more with you than they would have if they had bought that one lump sum.
It also, I think, aside from just like the financial opportunity for having more smaller courses for your customer, I feel like it gives them faster results because I don't know, when from the people who've taken our longer course and when we have a longer course, they don't get through it all. Like they take a long time to get through it. It takes them a long time. They usually go back and rewatch, and so they're really not getting any wins from that right away. Whereas if you have a smaller course that's like much maybe like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it's a lot easier for them to digest and act upon a lot more quickly. So they're like, "Okay, I got something from this. Now I'm definitely going to buy something else from you." So you also want to make sure like you're giving them something quickly from those courses, like a win of sorts, whatever that looks like, so that, they're going to trust you a lot more. Those big courses, people just get bogged down.
Not only do they trust you, but they'll also give you like a review. They'll
Yeah.
give you a testimonial if they're able to go through your course and see a result. Where if you have a longer course, not only does it take people longer to go through it, so it takes you longer to potentially get a testimonial, which is social proof and it's extremely important for your business. But like Paige said, a lot of people don't even finish it because they kind of get overwhelmed. And so you never get that social proof. And and that's kind of a bummer because we
Mhm.
experienced that. We were like, why? We've had some people, we had a very small percentage of customers go all the way through our stuff and they did great
Mhm.
and they saw serious results, but there was just very few of them.
People want things to be quick. That's all
They
it
want
is.
it to be fast. But
Courses are also super nice for people because they can go at their own pace.
yes,
So
Mhm.
if they wanna listen to it on the way to work, if they wanna do it at midnight because that's when their kids are in bed, they wanna listen to it on their AirPods as they're mowing the grass, whatever, it's just super convenient,
Yeah, for sure.
and, that is a huge plus for people who are purchasing courses.
Yeah.
I also think it's really important to note that your course doesn't have to be super professional.
No.
Like, it does
No.
not have to look incredible. In fact, some of the most effective courses that I've purchased and gone through were very laid back, very casual, and they weren't like produced.
It's literally someone sitting at their, like, home desk with a regular computer camera
Mhm.
and a Google Doc.
So, like most
That
recently, I went through a course from Avery Lewis.
yeah.
She's your social sister on Instagram. If you don't follow her, go follow her. Her course is phenomenal. Amazing information. It's very short, it's concise, it gives you immediate actionable action items and wins, but it's not overly done. It's literally her sitting there sharing her information and just being herself. And she's, I think, might probably recording on Loom or something really
Mhm.
easy to use. And she's making crazy money with it. It's a hugely successful course, and it's not overly done. She didn't overthink it. She was just like, here's the information, here's how I'm going to present it. And people are seeing serious results from it. So that's like Loom is a phenomenal tool for making your first course.
I showed y'all this, I can't even remember her name right now. I bought a course and some of the little, like, sub-courses inside were literally just screenshots of her phone, and it was, like, notes. You remember
Oh,
that? It was
yeah.
just, like, notes on her phone that she just took a screenshot and posted because she didn't wanna retype it.
As a module.
Yeah, I wasn't even bothered. I was like, "Well, it's still there." I just read it off her phone and then moved to the next
Yep, we
one.
got the
I
information.
was like, "Alright."
What we have found, because we've done courses the hard way, we've made
Mhm.
slides with tons of information, we've recorded over the slides. What we have found is that the simpler the better.
Mhm.
So we do like using an app called Descript. I think it's like $30 a month, but it gives you the transcript, which you can then edit very quickly and easily. And I love editing modules by the transcript. But what we have found to be probably the most effective way to create a course is opening up a Notion board. Make it look nice, at least organized and easy to follow, and you record over the Notion board. If you have all of the information in a module, it does not have to be super fancy. Like we're recording with our computer camera, like our laptop camera, and people just want the information.
Mhm.
And so I think when we started creating courses, we overthought it. We were like,
Well,
our makeup needs to look good. We need to have our hair done. The background needs to be perfect. Lighting needs to look good.
it took us twice as long to
Yeah.
make it because of that. Now, when we record, we're like, "That's the easiest part."
Yeah.
Also, like, don't drag it out. Like, you don't have to make it this, like, whole production, like, just spit out the
Yeah.
information. Like,
Don't
Yes.
tell
don't
your life
there
story.
doesn't need to be a whole lot of filler. We also learned that
Mm-mm.
the hard way. Like, just give me my information and get out of here.
Like, don't make it 20 modules just for the sake of having
A
20
lot of
modules.
modules.
In fact, the shorter you can make your course while still providing all of the information, the better your course is going to perform.
Mhm.
So if you were gonna scale a course, like, let's use an example. What's a good niche?
Fitness? I mean, a
I
lot of people
mean,
are looking for
Okay,
fitness.
yeah.
fitness, yeah. So if you were gonna make a 5, let's say your course was 5 modules, then if you were gonna scale it, let's say one of them was protein, then you could, when they're buying that course, then you could have add-ons, like additives. So then they could have, okay, then one of your add-ons could be meals for that pro
We're talking about upsells.
upsells,
Yeah.
yeah. But then you're technically scaling your business because then you have upsells on each of those courses. Um
And you can also, like, sell additional courses, like, that are covering other topics.
You can add on to your courses as many times as you want.
So, what I would do if I was going to scale one course and I wanted to leave opportunity to sell and scale a second product, I would create one course. Let's say it's 5 modules over fitness in general. We're going to keep this really specific. What I would do is build a funnel around the course, and I would include 3 to 4 upsells related to the course itself. You don't want an upsell to be another course because people don't really want to add another course on top of a course that they're already buying. That's too much work. But what you want to do is create multiple upsells that follow kind of a specific up and down trend in price. And all of these upsells will help your customer get better results with the original course. So that's kind of the goal of an upsell. From there, what I would do is inside the course itself, I would pitch your next course. I would say, hey, if you want more information on blank, check out my other course here. And because your courses
Mhm.
are somewhat low ticket, your customer is likely to go ahead and purchase your next one while also going through an additional funnel with other upsells. So what you're doing is increasing your average order value with one transaction while pitching multiple products within, pitching another product within one product. And this is how you kind of scale your business. You turn the number one way to scale your business is to create repeat buyers. And so by creating multiple courses that that solve multiple problems, you're doing that very organically and very naturally. And I think a lot of people overlook the upsells
Mhm.
in the sale of one product. So That's how I would scale, and I would use ManyChat. I would talk about my product. I would talk about my course every single day. Every single day, I create a reel that basically pitches my product, and it's delivered through ManyChat. And then what I would do in my other reels are create pieces of content that deliver a freebie, where in the freebie, I'm also pitching to my course. So no matter what information they're getting from me, they're learning about the products that I have available. And we were creating multiple touch points in as few transactions as possible. Transactions meaning like as few touch points. So that's what I would do to scale like a really simple course really quickly in like a very quick breakdown. But that's probably one of the fastest ways to create a digital product and start making quite a bit of money with it.
Yeah, so courses is the first one. Super easy, super quick, easy turnaround.
Mhm.
So the second and third one actually we have is memberships and communities.
Well, those are the same.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we can put those together.
Mhm. Yeah, so the second product that we absolutely recommend is having a membership or a subscription product. And the reason that we do this, and this could look like a coaching group, it could look like a forum, it could really be whatever you want it to be. The reason is because what we want to do is generate monthly recurring revenue. This is also called MRR, and this is not master resale rights MRR. That's kind of taken over the online space in the last year. We're talking about monthly recurring revenue. And this is money that you are guaranteed to make every single month just because you're selling one specific type of product that's delivering on value consistently. And a lot of people have been parts of this. I think we've all probably paid for,
Mhm.
I've definitely paid for communities and memberships.
I paid for several.
I mean, in the online space, not only are we paying for these every single day with like Netflix and Amazon and what's the other one? Hulu,
Hulu,
We pay for
Apple.
memberships
Peacock.
and subscriptions all the time. It is such a, like, great opportunity, and you don't even realize it most of the time how many you're on until you go to, like, your Apple subscriptions on your phone.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of apps that I am subscribed to without even knowing it. So that's kind of like the basis. One, because if you have, like, an actual community group, a lot of people really want that connection. They want to be able to talk to other people who are learning the same thing as you, who are going through the same thing as you, or just have, like, a similar, like, walk of life. People just really crave that community. That's why we're on social media in the first place. And, but as a business owner, it is a way for you to make money every single month. So you're not just capturing one singular purchase from a customer. You're earning from that customer month after month after month. And so you're having monthly income. You're not relying on a single purchase of a single digital product. So it's such an awesome thing to have running in the background, even if it's something small, like if it was a subscription newsletter or what are some other examples that we use?
Really just communities
Communities
where
mostly.
you
It
have, a feed,
it could just be like a feed. It could
Yeah.
be
calls,
biweekly calls.
Yeah.
it could be
It could be a
weekly calls,
subscription letter.
Mhm.
it could be every week you send out updates about a specific topic, it could be like a lot of them in our online space are teaching social media growth, and so when you
Right.
join their community, what they do every week is update you with trending hooks and trending audio, different reel ideas, and so you're having to think about it a little bit less. What you could do if you were kind of in like health and wellness, you could have a community where every week you're providing new recipes with
Mhm.
grocery lists,
Or weekly workouts
weekly
or
workouts. I used to pay for a subscription for a coach on an app,
Yeah.
and she would message me, and every week she would update my like workout routines. But you could do the same thing in like Stand Store. You could do this in
Mhm.
Kajabi. You can do this in Course Creator 360, which is, what we're currently using. But I think the two most mainstream are Kajabi and School. These
Yeah,
are
for
programs
sure.
that were literally built to host communities, but you can also host your digital products in them as well and sell static courses or digital products from those programs. So they're really, really great programs, and they're intentionally built for hosting online communities.
It's also great for your reputation when you have a community, as long as you're making sure that you're active in it, because your followers and your customers who are paying for those communities, they're able to come in and ask you questions, and they get to be involved with you, and they're like they want that closeness with you. And so they those are the people that are going to be like your ride or dies. They're going to be like, you need to purchase from this person. She actually responds and talks to you in this community. It's amazing. And that is such a testament because when you have any amount of those people, you're going to make repeat sales from them and they're going to talk you up to everybody else.
And so not only when you have a community are people buying from your community and spending money with you monthly for the proximity and for the interaction with you, but they're also going to buy your other courses
Mhm.
and they're going to continue buying products from you because of that proximity to you in your community or in your subscription membership space. So those they kind of feed off of each other. When you like I always recommend having a course and a subscription, selling those two products at the same time because in both of those products, you will pitch your other products. Like always use one product as an opportunity to pitch your next product or a different product.
Yeah, I would sell them separately.
Sell them separately, but always, I mean, if somebody's buying one product from you, and as long as you did a good job making that product, chances are they will buy another
They're
product
going to
from you.
buy the
Mhm.
other one. The calls are always really popular because people want to get on, like Paige said, and talk to you directly, ask you questions. People ask a lot for one-on-one calls. Most people just don't have the time or energy for that. But if they can get on and even in a group setting and talk to you, a lot people love that.
Mhm.
Like, even if you let's say you're, like, in the plant niche, even if you just had a call where they could get on and show you, like, their half-dead plant, and they're like, "What do I do?" And you, like, tell them how to dump orange juice in there and cut off the leaf.
Dump
Well,
orange juice.
I don't know, they do weird things to keep plants
Jane clearly
alive.
doesn't have
Oh my
plants
god.
I've literally have fake plants in the front of my yard.
Dump orange juice in your
because you've been dumping
They're
orange juice in your
bound to need some
plants.
sort of vitamins.
They're just like people.
They
Oh.
Yeah, they say talk to them. Anyways,
Give it some omega-3 at night.
I did not interrupt you a single time.
Well,
Not
I could
once.
not ask you about orange juice on plants. Oh.
You could have a call where you show your plants and they help you bring them back to life. Or you could get on and they talk to you about your, I don't
We
know.
need to let Jane do more
Yeah.
examples.
Yeah, you know.
This is
Mhm.
fun.
Anyways,
But yeah, that was enlightening.
Pour orange juice in it.
Is your succulent dying? Grab some orange juice.
you know what? After this, I'm going to jump on a therapy subscription.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of those too.
Oh,
There are.
man.
You could get on a therapy subscription and talk to somebody directly.
Jane's gonna need it. Let's see if they'll sponsor us for Jane.
Better help.
I've already called BetterHelp before. Joke's on you.
We need best help now.
That's betterest help.
Oh,
Sorry,
my
Jane.
God. So, okay, yeah, subscriptions, you can do a lot with them.
Yeah.
Plant talk, beetle talk. We can do a bunch of stuff with a plant subscript or the plants. Now I have plants on the brain.
Also, if anyone's ever put orange juice in their plants, call now. Someone
Yeah,
message
can y'all
us.
tell us if that worked?
Yeah.
Or if
Because
it
this is-
immediately killed it.
Also, I just want you to know that we had a succulent and I pulled it down. Megan and Paige took care of it. It was so overflow. Like,
Listen.
it drowned. It was molded.
We rotted it to death.
I almost vomited
She did.
taking it down because y'all murdered it.
I was
Straight up.
emotionally invested in
I
that
never
succulent.
I
and
never
that-
said that I was an expert in plants,
Oh,
by
yeah,
the way.
well, we waterboarded it to death.
It was
It was rotten on the bottom.
We
It
just love
smelled
it too much.
dank. Oh, I was so invested in that one little vine that was creeping toward the window.
There was an episode of Bluey about that.
Wow.
One of the puppies did that to its flower.
Unfortunate for that succulent.
Anyways,
So-
next product.
All right, so we're talking about courses, the memberships and communities. Those are honestly my top two. Those
Yeah.
are the two that I would go with every single time.
that's
For
what
show.
we make. All like
That's
that's
what we
what
do.
that's what our offers are right now.
The bread and
Yeah,
butter.
they are.
So
Well,
go
we
check
have
ours out.
some slightly other ones, and we'll talk about that after this because I have like a really this one again another nugget that took us a long time to learn that I'm going to share with y'all that we'll share with you, and it is golden. Again, something that I wish somebody had been like, hey, don't like waste your time doing this. Like, don't make a ton of mistakes to figure this out. Let me just help you. But nobody did that for us.
Mm-mm. We had to make every mistake.
So the third product is coaching. And unlike courses and memberships, this is usually not a one-to-many unless you do it as kind of a cohort. But coaching is not as easy to scale because it is typically one-on-one. There's typically a higher price point involved. You need to vet your clients a little bit more because coaching is more intense. But it's a really, really great way to get results, to get up close and personal with your clients. Make sure that they are seeing the results with what you're helping them coach, helping them achieve. And it's a great way to start your business because you can start small. You can be very intentional in what you're doing and
Mhm.
who you're helping. And as you get results and social proof from your first customers, your first clients, you can leverage that to get more customers,
Yeah,
more
it's a
clients.
really good way to get social proof for your business
Really,
to
really
then bring
great.
in more clients.
And I can see how this is probably, like, the most intimidating one of them all because there's so many people, even though they're a wealth of knowledge on what they wanna talk about, they're like,
Yeah.
"I don't feel qualified to coach." Like, "I don't have any social proof. I've never done this before." But that's okay. Like, that's when you start with your prices a little bit lower. You maybe have 1 or 2 clients or at a time, and you're just giving them all you got.
But you have to remember, if you feel confident enough to start a business in that niche, then you obviously know more than the person who is willing to hire a coach in
Mhm.
that niche. Like
Yeah,
they're coming in knowing literally nothing, and you obviously know enough to start a business. So you're already able to be their coach.
But when you start coaching, there's like this I don't even want to say it's a trend. It's kind of like this mindset where people are like, charge your worth because a
Yeah.
lot of people will undercharge,
Yes.
their services and what they're worth. However, I have always felt weird about that, especially as like a new coach.
Mhm.
I've always felt uncomfortable with putting a high price tag to your coaching program. And something that we heard from Z Slingsby when
mhm,
we went to the stand event,
Mhm.
she was
Yep.
the
I love
first
her.
very successful coach I have heard say this, and I messaged her after because we didn't get a chance to talk. And I was like, "Thank you for saying this because you're the only one who's I feel has been realistic." She was like, "Look, everybody tells you to charge your worth, which is usually like a really high price tag." She goes, "When you're first starting, you just need to get a client. You just
Yeah.
need to get
Mhm,
somebody in the door,
Yeah.
and you need to prove to yourself and to your client that you know what you're doing and that you can help them get
right.
results. And
I
you might
agree.
need to start with a lower price.
Mhm.
And as you start seeing those results and you get that social proof, you can start charging more." And I was like, finally, somebody was like realistic about this because
Honestly.
everybody I hear is like, charge your worth. And they're like,
Well,
but
everyone gets so woo-woo in the mindset about some of this coaching stuff. They're like, "You can charge $50 million for a coaching program if you want to because you know what value you bring to the table." And I'm like, "If you're brand new, I'm not gonna pay a brand new coach with no proof an insane price tag until I have been able to see." Now, if they, like, gave me a massive discount, they're like, "Hey, I'm just starting out with my coaching business. I know my stuff, but I wanna, get my feet in the door, and I wanna prove to you that this is that I can
100%.
whatever, that I know I'm worth my salt." Yes, but that's so right. She's the only one who has been honest and realistic and isn't, like, taking on that, like, really I don't
Like the
even
crunchy coach.
like the crunchy coach, like, you attract wealth and blah, blah, blah. Not well,
Right.
that's not
Like
a
if
whole
somebody's willing to
different
pay you
topic.
$20,000, then let them pay you $20,000.
Feels
But
like
I'm like,
that
I don't
feels
like
like
that.
Yeah.
that there's no integrity in that, in my opinion.
But
Yeah.
coaching can be like weekly calls,
Yeah.
monthly calls. You can also make like schedules for them, like content schedules. You can like break
Yeah.
down
It can be
like,
Telegram, voice memos.
yeah, voice memos. Megan does a lot of voice memos, telegrams, which I thought was a scam until today.
Well, what I'm finding too is that you make the rules. This is your product. You build the program. You make it look how you want. And
Right.
so I was hesitant about starting any kind of coaching because I was like, I don't want to do one on ones. I don't want to have to, like, I don't have the time or the capacity to do that. And I just don't think that I want to do it in a business. But that's what every other coach in the industry is doing. And so I was building my product around what other people were doing. And it made me kind of resentful. And I was like, well, then why am I doing that? This is my product. I can make it look however I want as long as I'm providing the right value for my client. So when you start creating a coaching program or even a membership, don't base it around what somebody else is doing because that
Mm-mm.
works for them and their business. What I would say is they probably have the elements down, maybe kind of figure out what they're doing in general and then build your product around that. But don't just copy what everybody in the industry is doing because you think it's what everybody in the industry is doing. It's what you
Especially
should do.
if that person you're looking at has, like, a team or something.
Yeah, a lot of creators have very in depth programs, but you don't see the number of people behind them
Helping.
helping. A lot, I mean, not very many creators are transparent about the number of people that they have on their team helping them deliver on these products. So if it's just you, remember that it's just you.
Mhm.
What's going to work for you and what's going to work for your clients. And just
Just
do that.
start small and, like, move up from there.
Yeah, and also I would say pay for the bare minimum programs
Yeah.
to
Oh,
do
for
this.
sure. Yeah.
For sure.
Upgrade as you get more clients, as you get more social proof, as you're making more money. But just do the bare minimum right now. Like a great, like Jane was saying, host some weekly calls or bi-weekly calls.
Mhm.
Have a forum where they can ask you questions, and there's allotted times. Like you're going to be active Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. That's when
Mhm.
you respond to questions. You can have a coaching program that's solely built on apps like Telegram or WhatsApp, and it's voice memos back and forth.
Yeah.
So you can really modify this to be whatever you want it to be. But I would say if you're starting coaching, be realistic about the pricing. And our advice is don't be one of those crunchy coaches that's like, I'm worth $10,000, so I'm going to charge $10,000. You're not going to get it as a brand new coach, especially if you don't have like a giant following. Like, start small and be modest and like humble about starting small.
Not
There's
even the
nothing
giant
wrong with that.
It's not even the giant following. That doesn't matter. It's literally just the social proof.
Yeah. Social proof is huge.
Yeah. So the next product is the bundles. This is one that I don't see enough people doing.
I was gonna say that kind of fell off, and I love a good bundle.
Yeah, I love bundles. If I'm going to buy something, they're like, "Hey, you can get a slight discount if you buy one more thing." I'm like, "Hell yeah, brother, let's do it.
I'll bundle it
Sign me up.
twice.
Yeah.
Get
How do I
how
bundle
much
this
can I put on
twice?
this bundle? I
Yeah.
want it all." I almost did that the other day when I was buying that cookbook for us.
I know.
They're like,
Which, by the
"Buy
way, was
this one
amazing.
for $40 or buy 6 of them for $80." And I was like
Wait, how many books can I get?
I was like,
Yeah.
"Is there more? Is there
Yeah.
and more do you have more products?" I was, like, literally going through her website looking for more.
Yeah, you're like, "Can I use all 6?"
And then I was weak, and I just got the one. I was really disappointed in myself, full of regret.
I mean, 1 for 40 or 6 for 80 is a really good deal.
I don't remember if that was the price. I think it might have been more than that,
Oh,
but
wow.
still, in my head, that's all I was gonna pay, regardless of what the statement said. But yeah, bundles are amazing. Any site that there's a bundle, I'm here for it, and a lot of people are too, because, like, they are in the buying mindset, which is kind of what you were talking about when you're saying, with the upsells and things like that and order bumps. But when somebody's in a buying mood, like that day, I was in the buying mood. I wanted to buy this cookbook from this creator that I follow. And I went on her link knowing I was going to buy something. And I was like, let's do it. And when I saw the bundle option, I was excited. I was like, shoot, she's here for us. She's here for the girls. She wants to give us everything that we want.
That's like,
But that's what happens when people are in the buying mindset. They're like, they see the opportunity and they're like, okay, awesome. Now I can get 2 things that I wanted for a little bit cheaper.
but if you don't offer a bundle, you're missing out on that added income.
Yes.
And you could have made more money. Like maybe, and in some cases, people maybe don't want to spend the money on the one product, but if they get 2 for a slightly higher
Yes.
price, you're like, oh, that seems worth it. I'll go ahead and do that.
It's just like when people are like shopping for clothes online and they're like, just add $50 more to your cart for free shipping.
Yep.
It's the same kind of like mental thing.
It kind of takes away like the buyer fatigue. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is obviously just the easiest decision, and I get more things out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually get more buyer fatigue when they say just add $50 more to cart and we'll send you free shipping. And I was like, wait, do I
That-
spend an extra $50 and just get $6 off? Or do I not spend the extra $50?
And just pay $7.
Yeah, and then I
extra.
have to sit there and do the math, and I'm like, what's more, $50 or $7?
Oh my
And
god!
I freak out, and I'm like, do I add $50 more? Do I want more, $50 worth of more things? And then I end up exiting out completely.
That's
That's a
not
little
hard.
not what
that's
we're
not
talking
the
about.
that's not exactly the same. I shouldn't have added that example. That's not quite there.
Yeah, now I have buyer's fatigue just thinking about it.
I'm sweating.
Yeah, that's not the same for digital products. Bundling it is a little bit different because if people are looking at your digital products, they're kind of here for something, like they're ready for an education. But if they see an added bonus of a bundle, they're like, oh, maybe I will. And it's
Yeah.
just an easy way to capture a little bit extra income when, in one transaction.
And because it's a digital product, it doesn't really cost you anything extra to throw,
It costs you nothing.
to throw them together.
No, you're like buy this one, or you can buy 2 of them, and I'll give you $3 off. Hopefully more than that, a little bit. You
Yeah.
give them like, a bit of a better discount, but that's just the whole thing. Everyone loves a deal. It's just all, like, a mental game, and if you're a woman and if you've been shopping, like, you know how that works.
Mhm.
Any discount, I'm here for it.
But a really great way to do this is by bundling 2 products that are different, but they complement each other.
Yes.
And it's really important that the bundles you create do complement each other so that if they buy one product and you're offering another one, they'll either get better results by using the second
Mhm.
product or they get better results as a whole because the second product that you're offering kind of builds upon the first topic. And I know that that's a little bit generic, but like if somebody was bundling, let's say, look, I have PCOS, I talk about it a lot. Let's say I was buying from a creator who was like, hey, you can buy this month of workouts that you can keep doing month over month. And they're like, you can buy this for $37 or for $47, I'll give you the workouts plus like a meal planner with PCOS friendly workouts or something like that. And those two products together are gonna help me get better results, and it feels like if I'm doing the workout, then I should probably be eating the right way too. So it feels like a natural extension to just go ahead and grab that second product, and
Mhm.
it feels easy, and there's not a lot of decision making because it's like, "Oh, I probably should do that."
And
Yeah.
then some people take it even further, and if they already have, like, a whole suite of products and they usually sell them all individually, they'll have multiple different bundle options for different, like, goals. So, like, maybe you have, like, the workouts plus the meal planner, or then they'll have, like, the workouts plus another thing, like a labs cheat sheet or something like that, or, whatever, and then they have, like, the whole thing, or you can get the whole bundle, the whole suite of products for this insane discount and have slashed out the value price. And so, like, you can do a lot with only having a handful of products
Mhm.
by bundling. You're just, like, capturing more income by meeting, specific needs, that your target audience may be having or just their wants.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people they just kinda overlook that, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Well, I only have these handful of products," but you actually have more products just by bundling a couple of
It's how
your
you package
existing
it.
ones together. It's all
Yeah, but you
packaging.
definitely need to list them individually, like,
Mhm.
have them for sale individually, and then also have the bundle, and,
Yes.
like, have a little thing that's like, "Hey, bundled, it's, like, 12% off," or whatever.
Yeah, for
Some
sure.
people may pay for them separately, but then you're gonna sell a lot of bundles,
Yeah.
just extra money in the bank.
Mhm. So those are the 4 types of digital products that we recommend you selling, and within those, there's so much that you can do. And like we said, there's nothing wrong with a guide. I love a guide. If you're just trying to dip your toes in, if you just wanna kind of figure out, like, learn the ropes of digital products, then just make a guide. But make sure that it is actionable, make sure that it delivers a transformation or a like a win. Make sure that people are going to get something by buying your guide. And
Mhm.
guides are typically a little bit lower on, price point too. You can't usually charge like $97 for a guide or something like that.
No, I would say, like, anywhere from, like, 17 to
37
37 tops.
max.
Even 37, I feel like is pushing it for a guide unless
Mhm.
it's, like, coming with something else.
Right. So another type of product, and this is what I kind of alluded to earlier, what we have found to be extremely helpful are tools. And um, this could probably be a whole episode on its own, maybe, but we'll just kind of
Honestly, but
we'll talk about it a little bit because it goes along the same lines.
I
But
think this is something we need to make an amendment to this freebie and add this in there.
yeah,
Wait, I was gonna say before we move on to tools, if you have not received your freebie, this is it. Just listen. Don't DM us about it. You just read it just now.
Just listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
in fact,
Also, check your spam folder. It's there.
should we link it at the bottom of this
We
episode?
will.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll link
Yeah.
it to the bottom too.
You can link it. It will open and it will be in your spam folder.
it'll just be it'll just be a Google Drive, a
It does
Google
Yeah.
that.
Doc.
It does that sometimes.
Also, now we're moving on.
So another thing that we have found, and again, this was the thing that I wish somebody had like kind of slapped me around and been like, why don't you just do this? And it took us forever to freaking learn this. And I also have not heard a single other creator talking about
I
this.
haven't
Not a
No,
either.
because
single
they're
other
trying
one.
right now it's people are trying to sell it, so they're not gonna tell anyone else.
They're not telling
Okay,
people how to make it.
that's probably true.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what's happening. They're trying to sell it, so why would they tell anyone else?
Right. So what we have found is courses kind of go up and down. Like there's
Mhm.
no absolute guarantee that you're going to sell a course or 5 courses every single day.
Mhm.
There are things that you can do. You can run ads, you can make sure that you're posting content, but there is no guarantee that you're going to sell a course. And sometimes people get tired of courses.
It kind of ebbs and flows on if people are into it versus not into it.
Right. And if you are struggling to sell a course, if you're struggling to sell information, which it might happen at times
Mhm.
due to ebb and flow, due to seasons, because buying does change based on seasons. We just hit summer. Buying stops a little bit when summer starts. So, PSA. But if you're having issues struggling your course and you feel like people just aren't buying the education like they used to, because I will say education is more widely available than it ever has been
Yeah.
for free. So when people are buying a course from you, they're buying based on your experience and they want to hear how you teach a topic, not necessarily just for the information that you teach. Keep that in mind.
They want your experience and
They
wisdom.
This is why building a personal brand is so important. They're not just buying the education, they want to learn it from you specifically.
Mhm.
If you're struggling to sell your course or the education, consider creating a tool or a product that helps people implement the information that you teach. So, for example, we teach people how to start their online business with digital products, right? When our courses don't sell because education is so widely available, and I'm not saying that courses don't buy or don't sell, but in that instance, if you're finding courses are slowing down, people will buy tools to help them implement the information that is readily available
Mhm.
because tools implementation is where people struggle the most. Education is not necessarily because people can kind of sit down and learn anything. But where they have a hard time is learning how to execute on the information that they have
And
gained
do it well.
and doing it well. So, for example, we sell multiple tools. Our most recent one and one of our most successful tools is our AI bot, creator bot that we have sold to help people learn how to create digital products that sell, and then most importantly, create content and messaging that sells the products for them. Because you can talk about messaging all day long, but people, if they don't know how to create the kind of messaging that will sell for them, then they're not going to get the results and they're going to struggle to sell. So we were like, we can talk about messaging, but if people aren't doing it right, how can we help them do it right?
Right, because we realize, like, we cannot sit here and hold your hand and write out your hooks and your emails and your captions and your landing page copy for you, but we can dump all of our knowledge into an AI bot that can help you do it 24/7.
Mhm.
And that's what people wanted, that's what people needed, and that was us, kind of just, like, paying attention to our audience and being like, we for a good long while, our audience just stopped being interested in courses, and everybody's audience is gonna be different, and so we're like, "Well, how do we help them a different way, in the way that they need the help?" And that's where that came from, and tools just do incredibly well because people want their hands held, people want to do things themselves and they want the help to do it. They don't wanna have to just figure it out, and I don't mean that in, like, a mean way, it's just, like, people are busy, and they may not necessarily have time to, like, I don't what to learn it all, I guess, or just to do it right.
Well, like you said, people are busy, and most people starting this
Yeah,
business, like we were are doing something else.
yeah.
And so, and we did not have the time to become professional expert copywriters. We need to
No.
figure out how to do our messaging.
It also just takes a while to learn. And if
Exactly.
you can get a tool that can help you do it quicker and make money quicker and turn your business successful quicker, then why not?
Mhm.
I mean, I would purchase it.
Exactly. So, and another example is content. We teach in our course content. You have to make good content if you want to sell your products. And we teach people what to do. We teach them how to do it, what to do, how to time it, how to create it. But we don't sit there and do it for them. We physically cannot do that. But still, people will go through the course, go through our education, and struggle to create good content. So we were like, what the heck can we do to help them make good content and see those results? So, what we're building now is another tool to help people create good content.
Mhm.
And this is coming out in the next couple of weeks, and it's going to be kind of revolutionary. We are going to walk you through the steps of creating a good piece of content. And not only are we going to give you the theory behind good content and the education, we're also going to give you the implementation, a tool that you can sit down and use immediately to create a piece of content based on what works for us. And so this is kind of a way to help people get results with the education that you're selling. And when you do this, when you create a product tool, you can bundle it with your course and give somebody an even better experience and more value.
But some other tools are like it's really simple. Like it's not as complicated as even this. Like it can be templates. It can be the customizable invitations. It can be
A budget
a
calendar
budget
or
calendar,
calculator.
calculator.
Calculator, yeah.
It's literally just things that are going to help you do what you're already trying to do and help you do it quicker. Um, I'm trying to think of what else.
You see a lot of tools in Excel.
Yeah,
A
Lots of
ton
Excel
of
tools.
tons
yeah.
of like financial planners, budget planners,
I think a lot of
workout
people are
calendars.
I think a ton of people are creating tools and they're just calling them products. They
Mhm.
just don't know that they're tools.
Yeah.
I mean, calendars, menus,
Mhm.
a
Anything
lot
that's
of
like plug and play.
yeah,
We
Done for you.
anything that's
anything
done
done
for
for
you.
you.
Yeah, for sure. Anything that you can just like essentially plug in and start using immediately and isn't just teaching you something. That is a tool and we buy them all the time. Like I constantly buy online tools because I'm like this is making my life easier. I can't tell you how many Notion planners I've bought from Etsy and then ditched because
Yeah.
I forgot to use them. Um but yeah, so there's so many tools that you can create. And so if you're like, okay, well, what is a tool for me? Like, what would a tool be for my niche? Like, tell us what your niche is. Like, put it in the fan mail or DM us, Megan at the Megan Hall or me, the Paige Herzog, and just tell us your niche because we this is kind of a game that we love to play all the time.
Yeah, it's
If you
fun.
tell us your niche, we will just start rattling off ideas. It's just like it's so fun.
But also, if you have CreatorBot or if you have not purchased CreatorBot yet, we train this bot to do that for you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you don't even need to wait for an email from us. That's part of what we trained our AI to do, to spit out content, product and tool ideas
Yes.
based on what we would tell you.
CreatorBot is us.
We built CreatorBot around our brain to help you with your digital product business. Like
Mhm.
literally everything. Product ideation, product creation, copy that will sell, content that will sell and convert. This is what that bot is
Like
made to
hundreds of
do.
pages
Yeah.
of just everything.
Like I have over 600 pages of education and our knowledge inside of this bot.
But that's because, and even though that people have bought our courses, they found it highly valuable and educational, they still need help with the implementation. And so
Mhm.
we were like, how do we do something that teaches them how to implement this information or helps give them a helping hand to implement this information education?
People email us every day telling us like how grateful
I
they
know.
are and how much it's changed their
It's
business.
it's amazing. We have an
Yeah.
entire folder on my desktop
Yeah.
just for testimonials where I just screenshot comments and emails and DMs.
Yeah.
Basically everyone's saying like collectively, holy crap.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's so nerve-wracking when you launch something like an AI bot.
That bot was my baby.
Yeah. But when you get such positive feedback, you're like, "Oh God, thank the
God."
Lord," literally.
I know. I spent so long on that thing, like so long. And I
You
was
really
like,
did.
if people don't like this, I'm donezo.
If you didn't like it, I was like, it was all Paige.
Yeah, yeah.
We did not help her at all.
Yeah. We didn't even know what she was doing behind closed doors.
No idea.
But it's honestly been one of our most successful, popular products that we have ever created and sold. One of our absolute best performing products
It's
ever.
dope.
That's how we got our Starbucks this morning.
It's how we got our
It's true.
Starbucks.
Yeah, it's how we pay for a lot of things in our
Mhm.
life, like therapy for children and
Yeah.
everything. Mostly coffee.
Mostly so much coffee.
So much coffee.
But these are the 4 digital products. Like Jane said, this is a freebie that I created probably a year ago. And I create content around this freebie often, and people absolutely riot for it because it is extremely valuable information. What we talked about in this episode is course material. This is stuff that you would not normally get if for free,
Yeah. people
unless
are
you
paying for
purchase a
it.
course.
Yeah.
This is probably our most educational episode to date, I think.
This one is, yeah, this is a lot of stuff. This is information that we absolutely recommend you acting on,
Mhm.
as soon as possible. And again, this is founded in our own mistakes. This is not theory.
Rest assured.
This is what we have found to be the absolute most successful for our business and for other people's businesses. And what I encourage more than anything is you figuring out a way to start generating monthly recurring revenue, because that's a lifesaver, especially in the online space when you're relying so heavily on day-to-day sales. Monthly recurring revenue is what saves you. It's
Mhm.
it's something that'll keep you going and you can scale it like crazy. And again, if you want to create any of these products, use AI to help you
Use
with
Creator Bot
use
specifically.
CreatorBot with the product ideation. All you're going to do is be like, "Hey, I want to create a membership. I want to start generating monthly recurring revenue. Here's my niche, here's my audience, here's what I teach. Can you help me come up with ideas in how to structure this membership group or this community based on my lifestyle and what will work best for my clients?" And I'm telling you, the ideas that it's going to give you are absolutely insane. And you're going to be like, "Oh, this is way easier than I thought." And we're going to
Yeah.
be like, "Yeah, it is."
But also, I wanna say, like, I don't want people to feel like that they need to do all of these at one time.
No.
No,
That is not at all what we mean by this,
one
because
product.
some of you are gonna be like, "Absolutely not. I'm not gonna coach. Like, that is not for me." And some of you are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, yes, coaching is my jam. I love talking to people all day long. It's amazing." Even though it's not really what you do in coaching. But still, like, you're gonna pick one of these things and go with it and pick the one and focus on it, and then just take it from there. But like Megan said, a really good place to start is finding some form of monthly recurring revenue, like the membership or communities.
I thought you had something you were going to add.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, oh, now you want to hear me.
Oh my God.
Now you want to know what I have to say.
Please tell
After all
us.
this time of ignoring
As
me.
long as
We're
it's
gonna
not
get
orange
like
juice.
more plant knowledge.
Yeah, it's gonna be so funny when they're like, yeah, I put milk and pickle juice and all sorts of stuff in my plants. You just
Oh, I
wait.
feed
And they
my plants
also
milk
died.
every day.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I
Almond
bottle
milk.
feed my plants.
I can't wait. Y'all are gonna feel so
I
stupid.
breastfed my plant for 6 months. Oh my god.
That's disgusting.
That was so gross. I did not mean to get a visual on that.
Just pick one of these products, focus in, just do it. I know a lot of y'all get stuck on what, like, I'm gonna do it and then you don't. Just freaking do it. Just hurry up and do it. If you want to email us about it on our fan mail, do it. And then we'll talk about it on the next podcast and we'll give you some ideas and then forcefully make you do it
And then hunt you down.
and then hunt you
I'll
down.
hunt
I
you
will find
down.
your profile. And if it's not done, we're going to call you out.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
You are going to get a finger shaken.
I hope you're feeling anxiety right now. I am.
Okay, well, it's super boring when we just have to come up with all this stuff by ourselves. So please either go and write in our fan mail, because that's kind of fun to get,
Mhm.
on the podcast, or you can reach out to Megan on Instagram at the Megan Hall. It has to have a blue check mark. You gotta stop messaging all this scam
The fake ones.
all the fake ones. And we would never ask you to send money on WhatsApp or whatever those other
Never.
things are. It has to have a blue check mark, or page at the Page Herzog, or on TikTok at OOO Podcast. Bye.
Bye.